it if you want, yeah.
Well, we became aware of it. The U.S. became aware of it in January. January 7, I believe, is when China uh, announced to the world that something was going on, more than just, a pneumonia, a strong brand of pneumonia. They were saying something like that was causing people getting sick in Wuhan, China. So we learned about it in January of 2020, but they were being affected in China in 2019, hence the name COVID-19. So it did begin in 2019, yeah. Oh, okay. So at work, especially, my life has changed because I work in the food industry, and as a result, we were strongly affected because restaurants were closed or operating uh, at a minimal level, and as a result, our business and our sushi company, True Well Foods, it slowed considerably. So we went from a 6-day work week, Monday through Saturday, and we were cut down to just 3 days a week. And then we went from 50 employees down to 35 employees. So people who were still there, like myself, had to take on more duties, more responsibilities. So it became more concentrated on those days that we were working. As time passed, then we added more days, and now we're up to working 5 days a week, and basically have uh, become accustomed to it now, and we're we're thinking we're gonna stay at 5 days now. It's a plus, even though it's a more concentrated work schedule during those 5 days. We're doing still, 35 people. COVID-19 definitely has affected my life at work, and then now that uh, I have Saturdays off, that frees me up for another area that I've been dealing with during COVID-19, which is shopping for my mother. So she's going to be 94 years old in June, but for the entire time of COVID-19, I've been shopping for her. So I've been going to Market Basket every Saturday and buying foods that are readily, easily prepared. Market Basket prepares a lot of food, trays and subs and other items. And so I buy those things that she can just microwave up or easily cook on the stove. Just having some more time on Saturday to uh, be able to have time away from the stress of work uh, has been advantageous. So I'm grateful for that. On Saturday? Well, surprisingly, since we got three kind of old cars, I've been taking advantage of that and getting things done on the cars that I hadn't had time for. So I, on my 31-year-old Honda. So I worked with a friend and we changed the timing belt because you never know when that's going to break, and I needed to do it, and so I finally did that, which means you're also replacing the water pump with that. You're replacing seals, and it's a big job. You have to make sure you time it perfectly, and once and this 90 it's a Honda Accord, so it has an interference engine. So that timing belt breaks, your engine's gone. So the pressure was on to do it. And so this COVID-19, having Saturdays free, allowed me to make use of that time and fix that car. Plus, I've been doing more exercise, been able to do bike riding with my amazing son Joshua One Hill. Doing, we did it was probably an hour and a half bike journey going around the local Han Pond through the woods and all around. So it was a great adventure. So getting more exercise on the weekends and uh, also having more time to write my what's a like a slideshow presentation on using science to prove the existence of God, and also on the importance of the family system and DNA geared toward the importance of the family system. We human beings are DNA coded to create families, and families are our happiness. So I, because of COVID-19, I can spend more time with my family, which is what I'm supposed to be doing and appreciating, and I'm so glad. I'm glad that I have that. So yeah. So one of the things that I've expressed this to a lot of people, one of the great advantages that have come out of this is that people are communicating with each other through the internet, through Zoom calling, for example, and that will continue, I'm sure. Uh, Now we get people from all over the world who can suddenly communicate and see each other and be on a meeting together. Um, Same with our company. In our company, we've been able to, have meetings with Zoom. Zoom has opened up, I think, not just my eyes, but everyone to new possibilities where we can meet people online now. So this is a development, a very positive development that I think will uh, will continue long after COVID-19 is something that is in the history books for children to study about, something that happened long ago. Well, one of the things, like wearing masks, when I used to travel in Japan, one things I liked was when people did get sick, they would wear a mask. And I always thought, wow, we should do that in America. But I thought, no one's going to do it. But now that people are accustomed to wearing masks, you know, I mean, it's not all that comfortable, but when you're wearing it a while, you don't necessarily, you forget that you're wearing it. So now if people get sick, they're not going to feel strange or weird if they wear a mask, and then therefore they're going to be protecting people. I heard that uh, other, not just COVID-19 protection, but also from spreading colds and other viruses and the flu, they're going to also help. So if mask will help. So if somebody does, get sick for any reason, then uh, they'll wear masks, and so we'll reduce the spread of germs. I think moving forward. Right. Yeah. So as I was telling a friend today, that had I not, if there was no news or information about COVID-19, I would not have known that I had a virus. Now, the way I first discovered it was on Labor Day. I was working on my car, and I was about to start the project of replacing the alternator. And normally, I would just jump right into it. And for me, it's a 3 hour project. But then suddenly I said to myself, I'm not going to do it. And I thought, whoa, that is weird. I don't want to jump into this project, the 3 hour project to replace the alternator on my car. So I thought something's wrong about me, right? And then I noticed that I had a minor headache. And so I thought, this could be this COVID-19 thing happening. So I called my boss and told him that I want to take a sick day the next day. And he was good with that. And, um, then I felt suddenly my a lack of desire to eat food, and I checked my temperature; it was up uh, at 100 degrees. So I knew that I probably had the virus, which traced it to a friend of mine at work who gave it to me. And unfortunately, he actually, to my great surprise, I never expected, but he actually passed away as a result of this virus because he had an underlying condition of hypertension, and combined with COVID-19, hypertension is dangerous. So he passed away after 3 weeks on a respirator in the hospital. Had I just that caught me off guard. I just thought uh, that that he wouldn't have died because he was so healthy and happy. So yeah, this it affected me in this way, that somebody that I knew personally, who was vibrant and happy, and uh, suddenly he's passed away, leaving behind his family who have had to now his wife and daughter and granddaughter. Now they have to financially handle a new situation. So it's sad, and but this has happened to a lot of people due to COVID-19. A lot of people all around the world. So yeah, it has affected me just as it has affected many people. My son didn't get it at all, even though we're in close range at home. My wife actually got the virus. She tested positive, but with zero symptoms. Apparently, many Asians, my wife is Japanese, my son is half and half, so they apparently Asians have been able to handle this virus much better than other nationalities. So, um, yeah, for me too, it was an easy ride. You know, it's just my body figured out how to kill it rather quickly, and on the very next day, when I took my day off, I walked 15,000 steps. I walked fast, and I took a lot of vitamin D, and I got a lot of vitamin D from the sun. So I was in battle mode to fight the virus because I had learned that bats, when they flap their wings, they get a lot of oxygen when they're flying. And as a result of that greater intake of oxygen, then the virus, these COVID-19 viruses, the SARS and the MERS and COVID-19, the bats can actually live with the virus in them. And the greater amount of oxygen keeps it under control. Uh, so I wanted to get a lot of oxygen in my system when I discovered that I had COVID-19. So, do you want to talk about the MERS virus and the SARS virus? I lived through those as well. Uh-huh. And we did not close down our economy. so, so, anyway, moving forward, we better not close down our economy. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed this time in the sun with you, getting vitamin D for the battling. Now I'm going to go on a 3-day adventure and ponder my life, how my life has been affected by COVID-19. Sayonara.